The reason why parents often talk about you opposed to themselves is because they don't want to seem like they're at fault. They don't want to seem like they're the blame for you making mistakes and you making decisions that doesn't benefit their character. So they often want to talk about you. I know so many parents go around talking about their children and the decisions that they make because they're not following their lead or they're not doing what they say. But here's a wake-up call. What you say, if it's not lawful, are supposed to teach them the law. If you do not teach them the law and instead they go a different route and learn it on their own, you're wrong. And a lot of parents like to isolate their children by calling it a bad job, or they want to punish them for what they do or what they want to try. But it's a wake-up call, honey. Children make mistakes. And you can't punish them for making those mistakes. You can't isolate them. You can't talk about them because they've made mistakes. That is life, right? So I know for a fact that a lot of parents want to isolate their children, and instead of blaming themselves for not knowing the law, for not trusting themselves and making decisions and not being brave enough to make decisions for themselves, they like to talk about the child and say that the child is making mistakes because they aren't making the parents look good. I speak about this on my other video, right? Where the parents are essentially bullying their children, into making decisions, into dumbing down their creativity, okay? And it's perfectly fine when your child grows up to never speak to you again. It doesn't mean that they're angry. It doesn't mean that they're sensitive. It doesn't mean that they're emotional. It means that they just found a new path in a new way. And you, as parents, will oftentimes talk about them, critique them, because you didn't have the strength to look the other way. A lot of what I see these parents doing is unlawful. And you can't force anybody to do anything. You can't force anybody to believe anything. If they don't want to go to your church, they don't have to go to your church anymore. You guys are sitting up in the church talking about they'll be back. They'll be back. Some people have actually found a different route, and it is perfectly fine to do so.